Do you sort of rate Levi Greenwood as I know it's never good to lose Jack Ziebell, but as a pretty sort of comparable replacement? And you know, sometimes from the outside, I don't see North as much as you, but he seems to get a lot of possessions all the time. Is there any particular area of his game why he's not an absolute regular yet, Levi Greenwood? Yeah,
I think that there's a lot of things we're working with Levi, but we rate his hardness on par with Jack Ziebell, which is we can't really wrap someone up much more than that. So that part of his game's been fantastic. But I mean, we're a fair way off still, I think, in my opinion, where we need to be in terms of midfield depth and midfield quality. Even though when you look at Swallow and Ziebell and Wells, they're certainly pushing up there. But Levi's been kept out of the team just through function of numbers. Wells, Harvey, Swallow, Ziebell, Bastanak, Jacobs, the Cunnington, so it's been a numbers thing, and he's in terrific physical condition. He's one of our best runners, quick, powerful, hard at the footy. So it's just been a matter of taking his opportunity when it came up, and I think you'd agree that he took that today.
What do you think Lachie Hansen, certainly after the second half of this season, rates in terms of the league, in terms of influential defenders?
Really difficult for me to say, but he's a really important part of our side. But I think the thing with Lachie Hansen is that he's, I've got a lot of admiration for players that go through tough times and stick at it and work extremely hard to overcome, their problems and their challenges. And I think Lindsay Thomas, Lachie Hansen's another one who, unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say, has copped criticism from our own supporters, as much as anyone else. But I'm pretty sure our supporters now are pretty comfortable and they see Lachie Hansen jogging down as part of our back six, and he's still got work to do in his game. I want to be really clear about that, because you don't just click your fingers and everything works for you. I mean, he's still got a lot of work to do, and I think he's going to get much better as his career goes on. But he's a really important member of our side at the moment.
Yeah. Did you feel like you could just go on again?
No, I didn't. I think Heppell was a big loss for them. I think Heppell's really developed as a player from a player in his first year who burst onto the scene playing across half-back and bit on the wing, and now he's a genuinely good inside midfielder. So I think that really made it difficult for them and put a lot of pressure onto Watson and a couple of others. But, I was concerned. I mean, to have half the leadership group all suited up as the boys are running out to play is always a little disconcerting for a coach. But it was a great test of our depth, because we've always known that we've got that depth, but it's just a matter of how good that depth was. So I thought we got the game on our terms for most of it, and under a bit of pressure there at the end with a few little niggly injuries. I thought our game's getting better when momentum's swinging against us. I thought we iced that pretty well today.
I know you see Daniel Wells all the time, but does he still sometimes surprise you about the quality of his disposal and his finishing?
No, he doesn't, because I hold him in the highest regard. He's an amazing player. I think that coaches rate them so highly. That I think of players like Ryan Griffin and Daniel Wells, because they're so rare. They can do things that others just can't. So, Wells, he stepped up today, and I thought the game of our leaders, Brent Harvey's last quarter is absolutely fantastic. I copped a bit of booing from the opposition. Not sure why, but I would have thought that I'd be disappointed if our supporters booed Joe Watson, but I heard that. But I also heard them booing Boomer, so you can't have it both ways. Daniel Wells' performance, Drew Petrie's performance. So our three leaders out there today were really good.
It must have brought a smile to your face to see Nathan Grima put through that goal.
Not as big a smile as it brought to his face. He's been copping it for a long time from coaches, through players, through boot studders, have all been giving it to him about ending his career as the player who's played the most games without kicking a goal. So what better way to go forward and snap one on the left.
It did go so smoothly on the bench today. You had that interchange infringement, and also what happened with the substitution there?
Yeah, it's a really unusual one, because at three-quarter time we we spent a lot of time working out who our sub was going to be, and this is how innocuous some injuries can be. Lee Adams turned to run back to his position after we'd made the sub at three-quarter time and felt a click in his knee and didn't think he could go on. So we had to madly try and... I had an interview with Fox during the break, and I'm sort of saying, King, I've actually got a few things I've got to do here, but luckily, I mean, we were able to swap the sub because we were going to sub Grima. But we were able to swap that over to Lee Adams. But yeah, that's a new one for us. I haven't experienced that one before.
How bad is his knee?
Yeah, it's a very minor lateral ligament irritation, which the medical staff think will be fine. But you know, they just didn't think that he could run out the game with any level of comfort. So you know, we needed to make that change because Grima could get through. Would have been a disaster if we'd subbed Grima and then had to have Lee Adams sitting on the bench for the whole last quarter as well.
Just with that, what's the actual sort of rule? When is it ruled that the subs being subbed that become?
Well, look, there's paperwork to be handed to the interchange steward, so as long as he's comfortable that look, something's come to light before they've actually put that player back on the ground, then you can change it.
Will Ziebell and Thompson be back next week?
We expect so. Ziebs was very close. We wanted to give him right up until the end, but his fitness test was actually better than we thought it would be. I mean, my gut feel last night was that he wouldn't play, but you never discount competitors like that because they sometimes, or quite often, surprise you. But I think he'll be fine. Thompson was very close, but again, he throws himself in harm's way all the time, and he's just got one heavy knock too many. So, you know, we had to make the decision to rest him this week, but we expect he'll be okay as well.
You've got one finals to go up today, and you get the opportunity to get another two in the coming fortnight, get a bit of momentum going for next season. Yeah,
well, I was watching the quality of the game last night, and that was a finals-like game. Two obviously very good teams because their ladder position reflects that. But yeah, I was watching that game thinking we've got a massive challenge over the next fortnight. But I mean, that's you know what we've been setting ourselves for this year, to play well against the best, and largely we've played well against the best sides, but we haven't beaten them often enough. So that's our challenge the next 2 weeks, and then where that leaves us, who knows. But, thank you.